If being overweight or obese has affected your self-esteem negatively, or you're just tired of the various weight loss programs, the yo-yo diets that you have been participating in with no significant results, or you just want to lose the weight for healthy reasons, my name is Lilian Momena. I am a clinical nutritionist, and I'm going to take us through some of the tips that you can incorporate into your day-to-day routine to help you lose the weight in a healthy and sustainable manner. Stick around until the end because I'll be giving us tips on how to easily adjust into the new lifestyle. Without further ado, let's get into it. So tip number 1, stress management. Stress is important in weight loss because it affects your emotional and mental well-being, and these two affect your dietary habits. In a stressful situation, the body system reacts by producing cortisol. This is a good thing because cortisol triggers conversion of glycogen to glucose in the liver so that the body can utilize the glucose for energy to deal with the stressful situation. With more stressful conditions, the body is going to overproduce cortisol. Cortisol is going to increase the circulating blood glucose, and this will trigger the production of insulin. When this happens, the glucose is going to be converted into fat for storage, and now this increases the abdominal fat area and the arms and the legs area. With continued cortisol production, there is more need for energy for the body. Remember, the insulin is converting our glucose into fat. That means our cells are not utilizing glucose for energy. At the cellular level, we are still hungry. Hunger cues and the hormones are going to be produced to stimulate hunger sensations. This is where stress eating comes in. The fat storage that comes with elevated levels of stress usually affect the body's set weight. It gradually increases and it will be harder for you to lose weight. It is important for you to manage the stress before it becomes chronic. Some of the things that you can do, of course, is dancing. You can talk to a person, exercise, breathing techniques, all this. Another thing with elevated stress levels, it affects your mood, how you feel as a person. You'll get that you become a bit sad, you become a bit moody. And most people usually use food to try and feel good about themselves. In most cases, it is never the healthy foods. This prevents weight loss. The second tip is having a good sleep routine. Sleeping between 7 to 9 hours is very, very important in weight loss because your body will have some time to utilize and metabolize and even repair using the foods that you've given it during the day, and also rest from the overconsumption. With a good diet plan and adequate sleep, your body is able to switch energy sources from carbohydrates, that is glucose, to fats, that is ketones. What this does, it promotes fat burning, and this promotes weight loss. Another thing with good sleep, it also helps you manage stress, reduces anxiety, reduces depression, it promotes your mental health and emotional well-being. The third thing is proper hydration. Apart from the fact that water has several functions in the body, including the metabolic system, being well hydrated is very important in weight loss because it reduces the stomach capacity of food. The stomach has an adaptability to be able to stretch so that it can accommodate what you're giving it. Make sure that you don't overeat. You eat to your full. You don't eat to finish. The other thing with being properly hydrated, it promotes excretion of metabolic and digestion waste from the intestine through feces, and water helps prevent constipation. Another thing people usually confuse thirst cues with hunger cues. It is important before you eat to drink to avoid overconsumption. A number of people usually eat when they're supposed to be drinking. The fourth tip, of course, is exercise. We cannot avoid exercise if we want to lose weight. It's impossible. It increases the metabolic rate. This is basically how fast or slow your body utilizes the food that you're giving. How fast is the body going to utilize the carbohydrates, the protein, the fats? With the increased metabolic rate, there is less storage. In the long run, you will experience weight loss. So it is important to be consistent. Exercising 1 month or 2 for weight loss might not be so beneficial. Of course, you will still reap the other benefits of exercise, but for weight loss, it will not be very significant. If it's working, be consistent in it. With time, when the body adjusts, switch up so that you maintain the metabolic rate at such level so that you can be able to lose and maintain the weight loss. The fifth weight loss tip is natural herbs. Hibiscus, green tea, wheatgrass, chia seeds. They are important because they not only reduce the quantities of foods that you're going to take, but they also provide you with other phytonutrients that help you calm down by reducing the inflammatory markers in the body. Herbs like hibiscus, they increase your blood volume. Green tea, wheatgrass, and the likes, they have chlorophyll, they have soluble fibers that help in elimination of toxins, and then your stomach will feel lighter. They improve quality of sleep, endurance in terms of exercise, physical activities, and such. The sixth thing is controlling alcohol. Something we don't like so much to be told. Alcohol is bad, especially if you're trying to lose the weight. 1 gram of alcohol translates to 9 kilocalories of energy. The body cannot utilize these calories because alcohol is a toxin. What happens is that in the process of trying to make the alcohol less harmful, there will be release of fat droplets. The end result of this metabolism is usually fat storage. A 1 pack that most people like in Kenya. Let's control alcohol. The last thing that you're going to talk about is dietary adjustments. This is where most people usually have a problem with weight loss, because people want something that is quick, fast, that the results show immediately. They don't want to be patient. Remember, the weight did not come overnight. It took time. It is only right for you to allow yourself some time so that you can lose this weight. Don't be in a hurry. It is very good to set weight loss goals, but it becomes a problem when the weight loss goals become a source of stress. With diet, we usually talk about dietary adjustments. Basically assessing what you usually eat on a day-to-day routine, what you usually drink, how many times you eat, what times you eat. It is important to assess the types of foods that you're eating, the frequency and the amount of foods that you're eating, how well you eat. Like, do you finish your plate? Do you eat in a hurry? If on assessment you find out that you have been leaning towards intake of highly processed and refined carbohydrates, high intakes of sugar, high intakes of salt, high intakes of bad fats, low intakes of fiber, you need to sit back and readjust your dietary habits with a focus on the more healthier foods, good quality protein. The best way to shift is usually to replace. Don't avoid the carbohydrates at first. Replace the processed and refined carbohydrates with the whole grains and non-refined carbohydrates. Replace the intake of the saturated and bad fats with the intake of good fats. Substitution is usually easier than elimination. Another thing, you need to make sure that your weight loss diet plan is as healthy and as sustainable as it can possibly be. This is not something that you're going to do for 3 months. It's not a fad. The reason why fads usually fail most people, it's because most fads work with unrealistic dietary habits. Like, you will be told to stop eating solid foods, you can be told to stop eating carbohydrates, you eliminate completely, just be eating vegetables. You're not a cow. We are humans and we are omnivorous. We can do both meats and plants. If it's not a personal reason for you to go vegan, adapting a vegan-based diet for weight loss, it's not something that is sustainable. You'll be seeing someone doing nyama choma, you're there with your spinach or your smoothie, you'll be suffering. I usually advocate for a low-carb, high-fat kind of diet because it has been shown to be successful in weight loss. You're substituting the overconsumption of carbohydrates with the good quality fats. And also another thing with diet that you need to consider is increasing your fiber intake. Fiber is very important in weight loss. An intake of about 300 milligrams per day is very essential because it promotes and supports the gut health by feeding and culturing the good bacteria. When this happens, the gut microbiota is improved and this promotes digestion, utilization and metabolism of nutrients. What this does, it promotes homeostasis balance. The body can be able to comfortably eliminate the foods that it doesn't want, the toxins and all that. Fiber improves roughage. This improves excretion of metabolic and digestion waste. Another thing with fiber, it reduces the transit time of carbohydrates and other macronutrients in the stomach, and this improves satiety. You're going to eat less and get fuller for longer, as opposed to someone who has just taken processed and refined foods without any intake of fiber. Another thing with fiber sources, they provide other macronutrients that are very, very important. Another thing on diet is increasing intake of good quality fats. Fats are essential macronutrients. They help in the transportation of the fat-soluble nutrients, and they help the utilization of these nutrients to improve functionality. Another thing, fats also improve on satiety. You're going to take in less food, and this helps with weight loss because it reduces the amount of food that you're going to eat, and this reduces directly the amount of calories that you're going to take up during the day. When you create a calorie deficit, you're going to basically lose the weight. Also, increasing fat intake promotes ketone formation through ketosis. Your brain is able to switch sources of energy from glucose to ketones. It will promote fat burning. Let's take our fish, let's take our nuts, let's take our avocados, chia seeds, fenugreek. As I always say, if you can always do a cod liver oil supplements. I know the taste is not so good, but you can try and just do once in a day. You can write down on the comment section your struggles with weight loss, what you would want us to address. We will definitely be more than glad to do that. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up. I also increase my energy in creating, and you can tell me in the comment section down below what you would like us to address. I'll be more than glad to do that. And don't forget to subscribe and take your wheatgrass and your hibiscus.